So welcome to this webinar about patient-centric development and MRI products at Philips. My name is Florian BOULANGER and I'm an experienced design lead for MRI and X-ray equipment. At Philips, we have a mission to improve the lives of 3 billion people per year by year 2030. It is really important for us because we believe that we have a big role to play in making the world healthier and more sustainable through the innovation that we deliver in our healthcare products. Being part of the MR business, we have our MR vision. We believe strongly that MR is not fast enough right now. We want to reach a target of below 5 minutes personalized exam in the future, where it is easily accessible for every patient, no matter the complexity or the pain level that they are in, which also has a fully automated workflow and decision support. And in order to achieve that, the comfort of the users, being the patient and the staff, is very important. And we'll explain you why and how we incorporate their insights and their needs in our product development through this presentation. But first of all, why is patient experience so important? As you can see, there's many entities which across the years have really advocated for the importance of patient experience, claiming that it was really something important to consider, since it is in the end all about caring for the patients, but also the fact that the more the patient is happy, the more chances of success there is for their recovery, and so on. So the Bayer Institute, for example, we use a lot of their data analysis, you will see also in this presentation, because they have a lot of insights which are very helpful for us to take into account in our product development. Good patient experience is actually really important to impact on the quadruple aim. I imagine that you are all familiar with the quadruple aim. So even though the improved patient experience is only one of the 4 pillars, you can see that it has direct impact on the others. So for example, if a patient is well prepared in advance, it will help reduce rescans, which has an economical impact on the lower cost of care. Of course, if a patient experience is improved, patient will be very happy to recommend your hospital, improving your reputation and the profitability of your hospital in the end. Staff actually will be more motivated to deliver better care if he has great feedback from the patients as well, improving the quality as well as reputation of your hospital again. And finally, if patients are more compliant because they feel prepared and understood, and it leads to successful exam, you actually overall have a better health outcome. So what does patient experience actually mean? There is this great, definition that I found from the Bayer Institute, which states basically that when it comes to patient experience, every single piece of interaction within your organization, within the hospital, and it's the perception also that the patients have of it across the complete pathway, that is to be considered. So you cannot just simply think about a certain moment to capture the experience. You have to think about the experience through the eyes of the patient, which is from the moment they get a letter of referral from their referring physicians to the moment they get their results in the case of radiology. Also from the same study, it's interesting to understand that for 56% of patients, what drives the experience, the quality of the experience in a hospital, is actually the people. So that means we need to find ways also as manufacturers to enable staff to deliver good care, because they will then therefore drive a better experience for the patient. The second item is about the process, meaning How much time does it take before I get my results? How complicated is it to go through the hospital and from one service to the other to get treated? How much valuable is the information that I get from the hospital? All of these aspects are very important to patients as well, because it helps them feel more secure about the process that they have to follow and comply to get efficient results. And finally, the last pillar driver for experience is about the quality of the place itself. So this is traditionally where manufacturers such as Philips have been playing with the infrastructure, which is the topic of today. So quality of the equipment, quality of the environment, of the room itself, exam room, waiting room, etc., interior architecture. This is still very relevant for patients, and we know that the quality of environments help to keep patients, for example, very calm. Out of a study that we conducted at Philips around, in order to uncover patient needs for radiology, we uncovered that there was two major unmet needs recently. One is the lack of communication, or the need for improving communication, and the other one being improving comfort during examination, of course. And you see that overall, the scores on exam preparation during, is not very high in terms of satisfaction. So only 23% of people asked were satisfied with the exam preparation. We have identified that as a big issue where we can play a big role on preparing patients more upstream of the exam so that they feel more confident, they feel more empowered, and it helps therefore making a first time right exam. The second part is 25% being happy of the experience during the scan. And that's actually not a lot. That means there's still a lot to improve from the comfort of our scanners, but also potentially making sure that people are sufficiently relaxed and guided through the procedure. And finally, it's all about diagnosis and follow-up in radiology. So there, it's a slightly higher score, but still obviously a lot of room to play and improve. If you are really want to learn more in depth about this study, so I would ask you to go on our Philips website, where you can find the Enhancing the Patient Experience of Imaging study, which is the one I just used some extracts. And also, not to forget the importance of the staff and also the challenges that they face. We have made a great white paper on radiology staff in focus, which looks at their challenges and how we can improve their experience. So how do we integrate user centricity into our product development at Philips and Philips Design? So I'm part of a department which is called Philips Design, which is responsible for the user experience of all the products which come out of the Philips, let's say, factory. And we embed user centricity everywhere. With our team, we actually have this module which we call Dare to Care. It's really to challenge ourselves to go the extra mile and really feel a lot of empathy and curiosity for the people who are either working in the healthcare system or patients which are being treated, because that's the only way to really be relevant, is to be in contact with them, try to get in touch with them and hear firsthand what their challenges are. To put this in practice, we actually have 3 principles, and I'll use those principles and go through them and populate each principle with examples to explain you how we integrate the user-centric insights into our process. The first principle is called radical empathy. So that is all about getting in touch with people, getting to know people, because everybody is as an individual is different. They all have different needs, different capabilities, different worries, different challenges. And the only way to be able to design for everyone is to understand them deeply. And we do that through immersing ourselves in what we call the field. So going into the hospitals, witnessing what's happening every day, for example, at the MR scanner. Being a fly on the wall, just watching the people work, the patient come and go, hearing what's happening, the challenges that they face. And that's how we learn. That's how we actually capture very hidden little piece of information that will bring potentially innovation forward. So, of course, we also conduct a lot of interviews, but through observation, you get really an idea of the unknown, the untold. So if you have at some point somebody from Philips asking you if they can come and see you work in your organization, please do not deny that request. I would really appreciate if you just open up your doors and let us go in and witness what you're doing, because you are doing all remarkable work, and by letting us in, we can then improve our product and make it easier for you guys. The other tools that we use are personas. As you can imagine, Philips is a big organization, and not everybody is able to go as often as they would like in the hospitals to see what's happening. So we have also a duty to circulate the information in a very easy, intangible way. We use personas, for example, patient personas, which are fictive in the end, but based on real data. To communicate the challenges that each individual each patient have when they go through an MR. So we try to make them as diverse as possible, and also take into account all differences like age, mobility of the person, special needs, pain levels. And this really helps to guide engineers, for example, during the product development and setting up the right requirements so that the systems can be easily used by anybody. And we do the same for staff members. Here you see extracts of technologists and radiologists. It's the same idea. It's all about trying to understand the challenges of those people, understand their context of work, their mindsets, their mental model, because the more we understand the way they think, the way they work, the more easily we can create solutions which are intuitive for them and effective to use. The second principle is called holistic care. And that is because in healthcare, it is a whole system that we have to rethink. And you cannot take one issue after the other in isolation. So what we do is we actually, when we go through a study, we actually make what we call an experience flow. So we follow the patient, and then we actually map all the interactions with all the different actors of the sector, healthcare sector, I mean. And this helps us to visualize the total care path, let's call it that way, or at least diagnostic path. And populated with images and as much data as we get from the field, it enables us to also communicate again to our colleagues what is happening and what is really important. And in the end, the goal being that we can highlight and find pain points that we will be using as a source of innovation, but it's a trigger for innovation. The last principle is called humanizing technology, because any good technology, even the best of the best, if it cannot be used by human because it's too complex or too unreachable, actually will not have the impact that we need on society. So having technology which is intuitive and easy to use is actually what we are striving for. The only way to do that is via prototyping and testing. So we do prototype a lot, and you see here multiple ways of prototyping: digitally, virtual reality, making mock-ups. This really helps us to get hands-on in order to identify quickly if we have on a particular product ergonomics issue, or if it's conflicting with the workflow, many of those things. And we, of course, this is a first step, but the things which is most important is the testing. So doing iterative testing with the end users. So we bring in for a project regularly end users, being professionals or being patients, to test our solutions in order to understand if they are easy to use or comfortable as well. For that, we actually comply or actually use what we call system usability scoring, which is a usability standard type of testing, which enable us to understand if our system are perceived to be very easy to use by the end user. And we do that, I think, yeah, as much as needed per project across the length of the project. So we start early with very simple mock-ups, and we end up at the end of the project just before validation with a more accurate and functional prototype. But this really helps us understand and improve the quality of their product. We even do test our color palette. So when we released the new MR Wave in 2017, we had tested earlier the color scheme, because for us, color scheme means it is about providing a system which is not fearful for patients, which keeps them calm and less anxious. Also is enjoyable or uplifting, and is clearly indicating them where they need to sit, for example. That's why we have this blue island on the mattress. At the same time, for the staff, colors are the part of their everyday work environment. So they need to be able to maintain their performance up and reduce stress level. So this is a very important touch point for us as well, that we once again do test across the world. So all of this process is used to create wonderful innovations that I do believe have impact. And I have chosen here 3 to highlight quickly. The first one is Vital Screen and Smart Touch. Vital Screen helps the staff, the MRI technologist, get access to the most crucial information about the patient and the exam right at the gantry of the scanner. So they don't have to go back to the control room anymore, and they are always then close to the patient, able to give better care. At the same time, with Smart Touch, we actually automate a lot of redundant tasks for the staff, so that they don't have to interact that much anymore with the scanner, but then preferably can focus on the patient. With the Breeze workflow, we introduced very lightweight and comfortable coils, which are much more adaptive in their nature, making it more comfortable for the patient and also less cumbersome to use for the staff. And finally, one of the very simple innovation, but already giving a lot of impact, is our Comfort Plus mattresses. A much thicker, much more comfortable mattress that when patients lie on, they feel much more at ease, much more comfortable. And with results, we see that the amount of rescans is often reduced thanks to that. And finally, what we see is that our innovations are making impact. We see that we can already reduce the speed of, not reduce the speed, but increase the speed of scans by up to 50%. We see that because of our comfort solutions, such as Ambient Experience and Inbore Connect, which really guide the patient during the examination inside the bore, and as well as the comfort mattresses, we reduce the rescans by up to 70%. And finally, 60% higher resolution because of the combination of all of that. So this is something that we are really proud of at Philips. I would like to thank you all for listening to this webinar. It was my honor to present it to you. If you want more information, then please do not hesitate to visit our website. And I wish you a great day. Thank you very much.